உலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகை மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரமை திறந்து என்று செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
I request Dr. Madhura Swaminathan, Professor and Head Economic Analysis Unit, Indian Statistical Institute, Bangalore, to deliver welcome address.
Good evening, friends. It's been a long day, but I think this is a very special ceremony, and so I'm glad you're all present here today for the MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024. I'm very pleased to welcome Honorable Sri P. Sadashivam, who was Chief Justice of India, former Chief Justice of India, and former Governor of Kerala. Welcome, sir. We have with us Honorable Thiru P. Sadashivam, who is the Minister for Food and Civil Supplies Thiru Chakrapani, who is the Honorable Minister for Food and Civil Supplies of the Government of Tamil Nadu. And this is what we've all been talking about since morning. So very special. This is a food and nutrition is a special theme here. So your presence is very welcome. I'm of course very happy that we have Dr. Lindiwe Sibanda, Chair of the CGIR System Board, and you will hear more about our awardee later today. We have Dr. Khan, who is the President of Agriculture Today Group and Chairman of the Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, and who has instituted this very novel award a few years ago. So thank you for your leadership in that and for being here today. Dr. Soumya, Dr. Hariharan, welcome to all of you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Madhura. So now I call upon Dr. M.J. Khan, Chairman, Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, President, Agriculture Today Group, New Delhi, to speak about the award.
A very good evening to all. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Chief Justice, former Chief Justice of India, Dr. Swaminathan, Dr. Madhura, Dr. Hariharan, and very special guest Dr. Sibanda from CGIR chair, board chair. It's a very privileged moment for us because as we assemble here for the third MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award, as Dr. Madhura mentioned, it was started in 2022. Agriculture Today Group enjoyed very special bonding with Professor Swaminathan, and personally myself, I met first time in 1997 in Hyderabad. So the journey of almost 27 years, so closely we interacted. 6 years he was in the Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament during that period, and on many occasions, in fact, very prestigious Global Agricultural Leadership Summit we started in 2008. So that was, we were returning from PAU Ludhiana in the train together, and we conceptualized on the way that we need to have a very important award. So we and a summit where all the government and private sector, national and global institutions all participate. So Agricultural Leadership Summit started in 2008 as a very, very special program, very uniquely designed, and as a part of that there were Agricultural Leadership Awards, which continue to be very well sought after, very important award. In fact, some 7 chief ministers themselves personally have received that award. And a very important institution. So very first year the awardees, if we look at the list of the awardees of the very first year in 2008, Professor Swaminathan himself was also one of the awardees for policy leadership, because Farmers Commission report was submitted. That was very landmark work done by any commission after independence. So Professor himself was heading that. Professor V. Kurian was also recipient. Is such a big name, and NABARD as an institution was recognized, Andhra Pradesh as the state was recognized, MICO as the seed company was recognized, very pioneering work they have done. So pioneers in all the respective fields were recognized. So that journey continued, and professor remained its chair for 11 years. And his last visit to New Delhi was at the, 11th Leadership Summit in 2018. And I still remember that instance where Secretary of Agriculture, Sanjay Agrawal, he wanted professor's presence because Prime Minister had made it a condition, his PMO, that if professor comes, then PM's consent will be there for a program that ministry was hosting. So professor, because of the health reasons, he did not consent. So when Sanjay Agrawal saw professor sitting there, so in a complaintful mode, he said, sir, I was expecting you in our program, meaning thereby you didn't come, so Prime Minister didn't come. So he could get the meaning, so he said, I have been part of this program from day one, and what he said was that maybe this is my last visit to Delhi, and it happened so that way. So after that program, we could. So one of the visits to your professor residence, your residence, we had a long conversation that day, and on the way back, we decided that as a mark of respect to his tremendous contribution to the India's and global food security and sustainable development strategy that professor always talked about, and nutrition security in particular, that later on every discussion that nutrition security. Many occasions I was with him to US at World Food Summit. I visited where Professor Sivanda always attended. The kind of respect I saw that every global leader will start his talk naming Professor Swaminathan. And very specific instance, I remember this interesting to quote here, that I was sitting in the front row. One lady next to me was sitting. When we introduced, I am from India, then she told I am ex-president of Malawi, I think Joyce Banda. So she asked me, do you know Professor Swaminathan? I said, of course, yes. He's sitting 3 chairs next to you. She got up and went to him, and half bent she kept on talking for almost 10 minutes. That was the kind of respect that professor commanded all over the world. And so that very close relationship with professors as a mark of respect, we thought. We convened a meeting in Delhi, and many people we consulted. So this decision was taken to institute an award for sustainable development, a leadership award for global food security and sustainable development. So in 2022, the committee was chaired by Professor Ramesh Chand, the member of Niti Aayog, and Dr. William Dar, you know that he was the first recipient. He was the longest serving DG of ICRISAT, and also that time he was the Secretary of Agriculture of Philippines. Their secretary means Minister of Agriculture, so he received. Last time we all know that Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, he was the recipient of the second award. And one more instance I remember from Iowa State, we flew to Washington DC because I see Dr. Shengan Fan is here. He was DG IFRI that time. So Professor, myself, Dr. Raman was there, and I think Ambassador Siddiqui, who was Chief Agriculture Negotiator in the office of the President Obama, he also accompanied that. So we came to your office, we had a long discussion. So this nutrition security and how we can strategize for India, that because food secure we are, but in the nutrition security we are ranking quite major concern is there. So we had long discussion on that. So many instances of we traveling with professor, and in Delhi whenever he was there. Also we were privileged to receive him twice at our office. A small office, person of the professor's stature coming to that office, it was great on our part. So this 2023, Ambassador Kenneth Quinn was the recipient, and we all know that he, for 20 years he was the president of World Food Prize Foundation, and very closely we interact. When we announced the name of Professor Sibanda, Professor Ambassador Kenneth Quinn joined from US online. I believe if there is a recorded message or by Zoom they are joining today, both of them, because both of them were keen, we spoke to that. So this year we all know that Professor Sivanda has come, the person of her stature, and the citation will be read out by Dr. Hariharan. Let me thank you all for being part of this, and we take a lot of privilege and pride being the host of this award and instituting this award in the memory of Professor. Today being his birthday, is a very special day. And thank you, Professor Sivanda, for coming all the way. A special thanks to Justice Sathasivam, because he chaired this jury. It's an 18-member jury. Very important people are there. Ex-Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, 2 ex-secretaries of the Government of India. many people are there, and both the previous awardees. So next jury, Professor Sibanda will also be part of the jury because by default. So thank you, Justice Sathasivam, and for being part of that. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for being part of this today's evening as the chief guest. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khan. Next, I request our chairperson, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, to offer felicitation address.
Honorable Minister Shri Chakrapani, Justice Sadashivam, Dr. Sibanda, Dr. Khan, dignitaries and distinguished guests. Firstly, let me say how pleased we are to be able to host this event at MSSRF as part of our international conference on the Evergreen Revolution. I think it's extremely appropriate, and I'm very glad that Dr. M.J. Khan made it happen, because as soon as they announced that Dr. Sibanda was getting the award, of course Kenneth Quinn and many of us were online listening, but and then I asked Dr. Khan, why don't we do this on Professor Swaminathan's birthday in Chennai, and it will also give an opportunity for us to be able to host Dr. Sibanda for the conference, and everybody is going to be thrilled. And I'm very grateful to you for having made it happen. We know that as CGIR system chair, what a busy schedule. I don't think anyone can imagine how much travel she has to do, because as you know, the CGIR system is a network, a huge network of agricultural research institutions across the world in every continent. And so to be not only responsible for the governance of such a large network, but also be leading a process of transformation and of change within the system itself to really make it more responsive, to make it very science-based, and to put a special focus, I think, on solving the problems of nutrition security in the developing countries. And so I think the jury, of course, headed by eminent Chief Justice Sadashivam, has made absolutely the right choice, and Dr. Kenneth Quinn, in his speech that was played out this morning, actually made a very good connection between Professor Swaminathan's work and legacy and what Dr. Sibanda is now carrying on. And there's a tremendous opportunity, of course, through the CGIR system to really have a huge impact. And it's wonderful that somebody from a developing country, from the global south, and that too a woman, is at the head of a system like this. Not only that, also the executive director, Dr. Ismahan Elwafi, is also a woman agricultural scientist from a middle-income country or a LMIC. So it is wonderful that we have this combination of two very strong women, both very strong scientists, but with very practical knowledge. And I think Dr. Sibanda has also been a farmer herself and understands the problems of farming. So it's also very appropriate that we have the Minister for Food and Civil Supplies, and Minister Chakrapani is a friend of the foundation. He has come here many times, and he's one of those rare people who is really thinking about beyond his portfolio, how to improve the health of the population of Tamil Nadu, because through the Food and Civil Supplies Department and through the policy changes that can be made there, one can not only benefit farmers, but you can also have a win-win situation by providing healthier options to people through the PDS and through the other social safety nets. Like Tamil Nadu has a long history of midday meals. It has the first state to introduce a breakfast scheme. Chief Minister Thiru M.K. Stalin introduced a breakfast scheme, I think initially for primary school and now extended across the state. So many children had the habit of coming hungry to school because the parents either not available at home or did not have time or could not give them a breakfast. And so this particular initiative of serving a breakfast as soon as the child comes to school really helps the child to retain much better what they are studying. And of course the midday meal
is a universal thing which occurs. So improving the quality of those meals, of course, one can always make it more nutritious so that we deal with all micronutrient deficiencies which most of us are suffering from, anemia and vitamin deficiencies, what we call hidden hunger. So those things can be addressed actually through some of these safety nets because they're already in place. So I think we thank you very much, sir, for gracing us with your presence this evening, and thank you also for again having it, and many congratulations to the winner of this year's award, Dr. Lindiwe Sibanda.
Thank you, Dr. Soumya. Next, I request Thiru P. Sadasivam, Honorable former Chief Justice of India and former Governor of Kerala, to offer a felicitation address.
Through Chakrabani, Honorable Minister for Food, Government of Tamil Nadu. He himself is a farmer by birth, I know him. Recipient of the award, Dr. Sibanda, Dr. Swaminathan, Chairperson, MSSAF, her sister, Mathura Swaminathan, Dr. William D. Dar, former Director General, CRISEP, Dr. M.J. Khan, Chairperson, Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, New Delhi, and also President of the leading magazine Agriculture Today Group, Dr. G.N. Hariharan, Executive Director, MSSRF, Dr. Rengalakshmi, Secretary Director, MSSRF, respected audience, my friends in media, good evening to all. I am happy to participate in this MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024 function organized by MSSRF in association with Agriculture Today magazine for recognizing the contributions of eminent scientists in the area of agriculture. The recipient of this year's Global Leadership Award is Dr. Lindiwe Sibanda. I congratulate her for her efforts in the agriculture sector. Before making some statement relating to agriculture, a paragraph about myself. Now, my journey started as a farmer's son. I am a native of this state, born and brought up in western part of Tamil Nadu, that is Erode district. Studied in a government school, that too in Tamil medium, up to the school level. Law in Government Law College, Chennai, and started practicing in the High Court, Madras, and served as a state law officer. I had the opportunity to work under Madam Amma and Dr. Kalanyar. I am the only person opportunity to serve as a law officer under both the chief ministers. Unless you are competent, it is difficult to continue with both the different political parties. Then elevated as a permanent judge of the Madras High Court on 8/1/1976 at the age of 46. After serving 10 years, I was transferred to Punjab and Haryana High Court at Chandigarh, then 7 months at Chandigarh, then elevated to Supreme Court on 20/8/2007, followed by the honor of rendering head of the Indian judiciary in the position of 40th Chief Justice of India. The present Chief Justice Chandrachud is 50th Chief Justice. My term was in 2013-14. At that time, my position was 40th and retired on 26/4/2014. Later rendered public service as an executive head, that is Governor of Kerala, during 2014 and 19, and finally returned and settled as a farmer, FAR, Kisan, in my native village, which is in western part of Tamil Nadu, and looking after my lands peacefully. Though I was, after retirement, I was compelled to stay at Delhi, particularly these public sector undertakings, because none of you may not aware of the Reliance gas judgment. In that I am the author of the judgment. I made an observation requesting the central government to encourage public sector undertakings like ONGC, Coal India, so that they can, through them, if we explore this oil from Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, people may get crores and crores. But as a court, we cannot issue direction to the government. I made only observation. Unfortunately, that was not being followed so far. So knowing this, after retirement, I am going back to my native place for continuing my farming. These chairmen and MDs came to my residence and requested me to stay at Delhi to give opinion for them or participate in the arbitration proceedings. Now I said, after laying down the office of Chief Justice of India, I don't want to do again the farming work. So in a very humble way, I declined. While leaving my room, one of the officers boldly said, in the letter when I am conveying, "Sir, I know your last drawn salary as a Chief Justice of India. If you accept our suggestion and stay at Delhi, you may earn 20 times of your last drawn salary." Now I said, fortunately my wife, at that time she was in kitchen, not along with me. So nobody, I said with a smiling face, "Sorry, my pension is sufficient for my survival." So I left Delhi. Then only the present Prime Minister nominated me as a Governor of Kerala. That also I finished. Now I am actually looking after. Now why I mentioned, in this function, when we celebrate, when we mention about Mr. Swaminathan's achievements and his work for farmers, most of the farming community or farmers are on the dais or participating in the meeting. That's why I mentioned. Then Indian agriculture has been and continues to be cornerstone of Indian economy for thousands of years. It has played a crucial role in the gross economic growth of the nation and affects the standard of life for a major chunk of the country's population. The role of agriculture sector in boosting rural income and securing India's food and nutritional needs cannot be underestimated. In today's time, this sector holds considerable potential of stimulating growth. Over years, agriculture has become more than just a job. It has become a way of life for some and huge opportunity area for others. It has become one of the fastest growing sector of the nation with the rapidly changing scenario of modern technologies. Agriculture today, being run by our best friend Dr. Khan, agriculture today is India's leading agriculture magazine that covers the latest news and analysis of pressing agricultural issues of national and international importance. The magazine analyzes sectorial concerns involving biotechnology, farm mechanism, seeds, fertilizers, farm credit, crop protection, horticulture, animal husbandry, fisheries, food processing, nutrition, agribusiness, entrepreneurship, research and extension, marketing, trade, high-tech agriculture and digital technologies, etc. Last month when I attended his function at Delhi, I made a request. let it come in the regional languages also, so that the farmer, now I think it is being published only in Hindi. English. If it comes in all languages, now I'm going to tell, I may take 5 more minutes extra. It may be useful for farmers. That's why I am making this request. Legendary agricultural scientist and key architect of the country's green revolution, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, born in Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu on 7/8/1925. Today is his birthday. His keen interest in agricultural science, with father's participation in the freedom movement and Gandhiji's influence, inspired him to pursue higher studies in the agricultural science. After studying from Agricultural College, Coimbatore, later joined in Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, and earned a doctorate from Cambridge. In 1954, he joined the Central Rice Research Institute, Cuttack, later became a director, IARI. Dr. Swaminathan, recipient of Padma Shri in 1967, Padma Bhushan in January 1972, held several important posts in agriculture. In 2004, Union government appointed him as chairman of National Commission for Farmers. His main recommendation to the center was that minimum support price should be at least 50% more than the weighted average cost of production. This is the same thing whenever I get an opportunity to meet our Prime Minister, I am after mentioning Dr. Swaminathan's message and his request, I used to request the Prime Minister to see that the farmer gets minimum support price for their products. Dr. Swaminathan was nominated to Rajya Sabha from 2007 to 2013. His major contributions: developing high-yielding basmati varieties, basmati rice, using technology of mutation for various crops, application for genetics for increasing production, food security, and launching programs such as Lab to Land, Lab to Land. He championed for farmers' cause, advocated for fair price, FAIR, access to technology and social justice within agricultural landscape. His work was a testament to his commitment to improving the lives of those who tried on the land. His immense contribution in developing and promoting high-yielding varieties of wheat and rice helped to transform the country from a food deficit to food surplus nation. The Green Revolution had a profound impact on increasing food production by over 20% between 1965 and 1985. This helped to avert widespread famine and poverty in Bharat. He established a foundation named M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation, which supports human and institutional capacity building. He is considered one of the most revered personalities in the history of Indian agriculture. Today, the world has lost doyen of agricultural research, development, and humanity. But every time we eat a bowl of rice, he will be remembered. That means we are remembering every day. His illustrious life will remain an inspiration for new generation. Now coming to the awardee, Linvi Majli Sibanda is an animal scientist and a practicing farmer with extensive experience, serving as a policy advisor to numerous African governments and global institutions. She serves on the Nestle board and as chair of the council at the National University of Science and Technology in Zimbabwe and as extraordinary professor at the University of Pretoria, South Africa. She is an associate fellow at Chatham House and member of Champions 12.3 Accelerating Progress on UN Sustainable Development Goal SDG Target 12.3 Halving Global Per Capita Food Waste. She served in various organizations relating to food production. The goal of government schemes for farmers in India is to develop and innovate new services and increase the employment and agriculture rate in India. These agricultural schemes in India play a vital role in solving many agriculture or socio-economic problems, and every individual or person of India must be aware of new schemes for farmers or government schemes for farmers. Agriculture scheme for farmers is one of the most popular schemes and agriculture sectors of the Indian economy, giving livelihoods to a more significant part of India's population, while providing food security is the foundation of the country's rural economy. Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, these initiatives have aimed to improve the lives of farmers by providing financial security, skill development, market access, and sustainable agricultural practices. Finally, now I have brought various schemes brought out by this government in the year 2014. Nearly 12 schemes are there in the name of Prime Minister. Only thing, most of the schemes are in Hindi name, Pradhan Mantri, Fasal Bima Yojana, likewise. So I typed all these schemes. I went to Delhi and conveyed my feelings to the Prime Minister. Sir, don't think that your schemes have reached the farmers. As on date, I am doing farming. I am not able to understand your scheme and I am not utilizing your scheme. I gave one illustration. For example, this year I have planted 5 acres banana. While planting, there is a scheme, Prime Minister's scheme, that is insurance scheme. By getting my patta, etc., I need not go to village administrative officer. By giving a survey number and patta number, by opening the computer, I can get a copy. And I can select an insurance company by paying minimum amount of 50 or 75 rupees. In the event of heavy rain or cyclone, at the time when the banana tree gets fruit, I may get 25 to 30,000. Now I convey to him, sir, how much are you aware of it? How many farmers are aware of these details of these schemes? Then he asked me, what shall I do? Ask your officers, let them translate all your schemes in the regional languages, say Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, likewise, up to Assam. Leave alone Hindi, 50% already is there, names are there. And let it be a small book, the condition for applying your scheme. Like Aadhaar card, let your officers serve each copy to each farmer in their house with a request. If they plant coconut, let them go through this. If they plant paddy or if they want loan for crop, there is a scheme. So the officers have to request the farmers to understand and utilize. This I am going to leave this copy to our Agriculture Today Chairman Dr. Khan as well as Madam Soumya also, so that if they get a chance, they can also convey it. The real benefit will reach the farmer. Only for that I am saying. Finally, as a farmer, that is Kisan, I am happy and proud to associate with this ceremony of MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024, and my best wishes to the awardee Dr. Sibinda, and my sincere thanks to the organizer Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring speech. Now I call upon Dr. Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, Emeritus Chair, World Food Prize Foundation. He is online. Can you, Rajamanikam, can you connect him? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Over to you, sir.
Yes, well, thank you. I hope that you can hear me. Perhaps Dr. Sumia. Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Yes, well, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to say a few words. And congratulations. I was watching earlier at the opening of the conference, and you have a wonderful array of speakers and experts. And Dr. Khan, thank you so much to Agriculture Today for the great honor you gave me last year to be the second recipient of the MS Swaminathan Award for Sustainable Agriculture. And Dr. Lindawe Sabanda, my wonderful and dear friend, there, you know that behind me is the image of the World Food Prize Hall of Laureates. And in there is there's a wonderful 10-foot high mosaic dedicated to and depicting Dr. Swaminathan out in the rice fields, and it's named in honor of Dr. Borlaug, and World Food Prize laureates are all honored there. And I like to think today of that Dr. Borlaug and Dr. Swaminathan are back together again, and are once more, they're sitting, I like to believe, in what I would call green revolution heaven, and there and are looking down at this ceremony, and actually Dr. Swaminathan is sort of probably saying, no, it's evergreen revolution heaven, and but the incredible partnership that they had. And I have always felt, and I know Dr. Borlaug shared this, that when the Nobel Peace Prize was given to him in 1970, that Dr. Swaminathan should have shared that for the indispensable role that he played. And this morning, I reflected on knowing both Dr. Swaminathan for a quarter of a century, Dr. Sabanda, knowing you for over a decade. Dr. Sabanda would each year bring the most incredible array of visionary leaders, scientists, young people from Africa to the World Food Prize. She'd have a panel session that would be a centerpiece of the event. And it's easy to think of both you, Dr. Sabanda. At the same time, I think about Dr. Swaminathan, because not only do you have that same broad vision, that personal empathy for those who are hungry, for those who are striving, for those poorest farmers, and also have the humility that Dr. Swaminathan had and demonstrated again and again, and how both you, Dr. Sabanda, and Dr. Swaminathan were brought up to the forefront of global efforts. He, as the chair of the Hunger Task Force appointed by Kofi Annan, right after the Millennium Development Goals were announced, and you now in your leadership position as the chair of the CGIAR board. And I think Dr. Swaminathan is saying to Dr. Borlaug, tonight, kind of giving him a little poke with his elbow and saying, she's going to be terrific. She's going to be such a great asset. Right at a time when we need that kind of leadership, that kind of vision more than ever. Because the great hope of zero hunger by 2030, of zero poverty by 2030, that seemed so much within our grasp just in 2013 and 14 and 2015. Now some of those statistics are going in the wrong direction. And if we are going to get there, as we must, as people in the world are counting on the leadership of this next generation, Dr. Sibanda, that you are leading. And I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person to congratulate you and tell you how incredibly proud I am of you and how much I know that you are going to do in your leadership position, in not only in the coming years, but in the next coming decades, that will be so critical. And now having Dr. Swaminathan's name as part of your biography, I know will be an additional benefit and an emphasis for you as you carry on and lead CGIAR system to, as science is the multiplier of the harvest, and to a world free of hunger, poverty, and malnutrition. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words, Dr. Swaminathan, and being part of this wonderful, wonderful ceremony.
Thank you, Ambassador Quinn, for that sweet intervention. Thank you very much. And now I call upon Dr. G.N. Hariharan, Executive Director, R&D, Government Affairs, MSSRF, to read the citation of the award.
First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. It's my pleasure to read the citation. Agriculture Today Group, MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award for Sustainable Development 2024, presented to Professor Lindvi Majili Sibanda, Chair, CGIAR System Board. As a farmer science policy interface champion, Dr. Lindvi Majili Sibanda has transformed over 50 public, private, and non-governmental institutions, including farmer organizations, government ministries of agriculture, and academic and research organizations. Lindvi's deliberate engagement and zeal in realigned food systems institutions has been driven by recognizing the gap between farmers, scientific knowledge, and policy actions in the sustainable food systems and the climate change agenda. In 2023, Dr. Sibanda took over as CGIAR Systems Board Chair, and this is where her greatest impact in realigning CGIAR has been most visible. One CGIAR, the umbrella body for 13 CGIAR centers with a staff of 10,000, working in 81 countries with the budget that pledged to grow from US $1 billion to US $4 billion, is now the most trusted, public-funded global research entity working on delivering science and technologies to transform food, land, and water systems in the face of climate change. She is the originator and designer of 5 major tools that have improved farmer engagement in the farmer science policy interface. Dr. Sibanda's influential voice has been instrumental in shaping international discourse on climate-smart agriculture, advocating for policies that promote resilience, sustainability, and equitable outcomes for vulnerable communities impacted by climate change. August 7, 2024, Chennai, India. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hariharan. Now I call upon the Honorable Minister for Food and Civil Supplies, Government of Tamil Nadu, to present the award to the awardee, Dr. Lindvi Sibana, Chair, CGIAR System Board, Switzerland.
This is $600 silver, gold plated.
Now I request Dr. Lindvi Sibanda, Chair, CGIAR System Board, Switzerland, to accept.
Thank you to the moderator. I'd like to acknowledge our Chief Justice, former governor, and head of the jury. Now that I know you endorsed my nomination, no one is going to touch me. The law is in your hands, so I can lead and be protected. Thank you for the endorsement. To our Honorable Minister, thank you for gracing this occasion. To Dr. Khan and the entire Agriculture Today group and the jury, thank you for believing in me. To the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation board and staff, thank you for inviting me to this conference, and thank you for accepting to host this ceremony. I want to believe this is a new tide. It's only proper that this award is held in line with the birth date of our legend. So thank you for turning the tide. To the Swaminathan family in its entirety and the grandchildren included, the legacy lives on. I'm proud of my sisters. Thank you very much for the work you're doing. A special thank you for the work you are doing for the CGIAR, in addition to all your other responsibilities. To previous winners, Dr. Da, and dear friend and mentor, Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, thank you for waking up early to join us for this ceremony, and thank you for the kind words you gave in announcing this award. I was touched, and I continue to strive to walk in your footsteps together with Dr. Da. To all the delegates, I just want to celebrate the women in the room with a big wave and shout out for all my sisters. I also want to acknowledge those from the CGIAR family, particularly Dr. Schengen Fan, who is a colleague in the system board. We have been in the trenches together, and we continue. Thank you, my brother, for all the commitment to the work we do. Thank you to ICRISAT, which is the center that is hosted here in India, but doing amazing work globally. When we're here in India, India is synonymous with ICRISAT to us at CGIAR, and I'm glad you are represented at this conference. And to all others that have been touched by the CGIAR family of over 10,000 staff, over 13 boards, 14 with the system board, a big shout out to all of you. We have to do the work and finish that last mile. Thank you for your commitment. Allow me in this acceptance to take you down memory lane of some memorial lectures I have given, to take you down memory lane of my connection with Professor Swaminathan and my passion for his work. Allow me to also dream on what he would be seized with if he was still alive today. But most important, allow me to share what his legacy means to me and the personal challenge. Going down memory lane, I want to say this is the third memorial lecture of a legend that I am honored in my lifetime to be delivering. In 2017, I was invited in Australia to deliver the Sir John Crawford Lecture. Sir John Crawford is a founding member and inaugural chair of the Australian Centre for International Agriculture Research, which focuses on improving sustainable agriculture production in developing countries. He also served as the first chair of the Technical Advisory Committee to CGIAR from 1971 to 1976. That's a legend that has touched my journey, but I never met him. Just last month, in July, when this award was announced, I was privileged to be back in Australia to do a commemoration lecture for Professor Gordon McClymont, the father of sustainable agriculture for the Australians. He too was affiliated with the CGIAR. His pioneering work has inspired countless leaders and individuals to pursue sustainable farming and sustainable agricultural practices that benefit both people and the planet. Today's intervention that I'm making is the third one that is very special. It is special to me because there is nothing quite as wonderful as celebrating a birthday of a legend. As we all know, MS would have been 99 today. What a pleasure. For me personally, the first two legends I spoke about, but never met them. But this one is mine. He is mine, and my apologies to the ladies. I had the opportunity in your absence to call him Daddy. Whenever I met him at the World Food Prize, he would pause and say, "How are things in Africa?" and give me a hug. That's how special he was. And once in a while, when Raman was in a good mood, he would allow me to push the wheelchair, and I would take it easy because I'll be closely under watch. But even more special, I had the opportunity to visit this very center in 2016 as a special guest together with a team under Research into Use program. We had come here to learn. And the memorable initiatives that I took at that time was the app that had been developed as far back as 2016 for farmers to be able to take a picture, transmit it to here, and be told what diseases their dairy cattle were experiencing, and a vet would get back to them with a prescription of what medicine they would need to buy. I remember whispering to Professor MS to say, "This is something that Africa needs," and he said, "Take it there." I relate to Professor MS in his passion for farmers. As you heard in my journey, I'm an animal scientist by training, but often mistaken for an economist because I tried to demystify policy to the farmers because they are the practitioners and the ones who apply policies the most, but most of our policies are not fit for purpose. I developed what we call the Household Vulnerability Assessment Tool, where we try to quantify the assets, be it human, social networks, knowledge, physical assets that the farmers have, to understand which categories they fell into so that the extension and advisory services would be targeted and not just generic to all of them. I also worked at the time when I was leading FANAPAN, which is the Africa-wide policy network, on establishing the Partnership Viability Assessment tool, because I felt we don't partner right. We talk about partnerships, but rarely do we have win-win partnerships, particularly for us coming from the South, particularly for farmers who are always seen as inferior, uneducated, left behind. So we needed to know, how do we partner with dignity so that everybody brings something and takes something from those partnerships? One of the exciting tools that I worked on with my colleagues at FANAPAN was theater for policy advocacy. As Africans, we have an oral culture. We don't read much, but we can narrate our stories in a way that has a lasting legacy. So I felt through theater, we would be able to demystify policy, package our stories of whatever is impacting us as farmers, invite policymakers to those platforms, and they heard the message better and were able to take it to Parliament and change policies. And finally, we worked on multi-stakeholder policy dialogue platforms. These platforms allowed farmers, researchers, government officials, private sector, women and the youth to sit together and dialogue on the challenges that they face and seek solutions together. This is what I believe brings me close to Prof. Swaminathan's passion for farmers and making sure they are visible, empowered, and active players in sustainable food systems work. His work on CGIAR issues has been described both at the International Rice Research Institute, also with ICRISAT here, and with all the other centers, and through his work with the World Food Prize and for the people of India. All that is science. And in my work in my own country, I've felt compelled after retirement to go back and give back to my country. And I do work as the chair of a council for the National University of Science and Technology. I also work with the University of Pretoria, which is a neighboring country to Zimbabwe, where I come from, where I work on enhancing student capacity in driving sustainable food systems as an extraordinary professor at that university. When it comes to policy influence, I've seen it fit to stand up to the call when my government called to take up the position of policy advisor to our head of state. And I'm proud to say for the last couple of years, thanks to CIMIT, Zimbabwe has become self-sufficient in wheat and maize, and soon will be back as a breadbasket of the region, thanks to technologies that are developed from our sister institutions in the CGIAR and our national research institutions. So come with me on a dream. If Professor MS was alive today, what would he be working on? I want to dream and believe that he would be working on climate-smart, nutrient-dense food systems from farm to fork. We heard from all the presentations today, nutrition, malnutrition is a challenge. We heard that climate change is a challenge. Do we have the right seeds that can face climate change? Do we have the nutrition density in the food we are producing to address malnutrition, both in terms of obesity and stunting in our little children? I want to believe he would be working on promoting dignity and sustainable livelihoods for farmers. The minimum support price is still a burning issue here in India, but it's a burning issue for me in Zimbabwe. As a livestock farmer, we are only getting 10 cents out of every dollar of the livestock we produce. It can't be right. The maths has to be revised. He would also be working on attracting and retaining youth in sustainable agriculture. Number 4, and most important for me, I believe he'll be working on South-to-South agriculture leadership and business partnerships. And finally, on creating a conducive policy environment for the evergreen revolution globally. As Ambassador Queen said, somewhere in the green planet where he's lying, he's looking around and saying the job is not finished. In answering that question, I then say, what is my commitment to pursuing the evergreen revolution? First, through one CGIR, I have committed to make a difference. I have committed because I believe no one center can help deliver science and technologies in the face of climate change. What we have done together with my colleagues and everybody else who believes in CGIR is that we've come together as 13 centers to form what we call one CGIR, which has one vision, which is to deliver science and technologies in the face of climate change so we can transform food systems, land systems, and water systems. This is what our farmers need, and it has to be done. No one center can do it alone. We are 13 now. Soon we will be 15 with CIFO and ICRAF, and soon we will be more than that because we believe ICA should be part of the global initiative. We want to partner better. We believe Embrapa should be part of this initiative. We believe the Chinese Academy and the big institutions also in Africa should also be part of this big tent where we work together, partner better to deliver better technologies for our farmers. The second initiative I'm working on is the vision for adapted crops and soils, working on what we call female crops, forgotten crops. We have a better word for it. We now call them opportunity crops. We have partners as CGIR with FAO, working through CIMIT to make sure that we go back to our gene banks and look for those crops such as millet that we had forgotten and thought they were backward, they had no economic value, but we have discovered therein lies the answer for climate resilience and nutrition density. We have to take them to the farmer, and through Masagro, I am ready as Mother Masagro to take this to Africa. Finally, Professor Swaminathan spoke about the youth challenge. He also spoke about the rainbow revolution for Africa. I believe we need to do that because that was a charge from Norman Borlaug. It's also a charge from Prof. Swaminathan. Let's make it happen. As I celebrate MS Swaminathan's legacy, I embrace the vision of an evergreen revolution. I strive to continue his work with the same dedication and passion, ensuring that agricultural productivity and ecological health go hand in hand. In conclusion, I want to express my deepest gratitude for the award, particularly to the award committee which has believed in me. I want to use this platform to reaffirm my commitment to sustainable agriculture and to carry forward the torch that has been lit by the legends. Ambassador Queen and Dr. Da, those are big, big shoes to get into, but I know you're going to carry me on and spur me on to deliver on the promise. Together, we can achieve a future where productivity and ecological harmony coexist, benefiting us, benefiting the planet, but most important, benefiting generations to come. To my three sisters, I've thanked you for the work you are doing. Can we take it to Africa? Can we take it to Africa? Because I am sure Daddy would be smiling to see a banner, MS Swaminathan Research Foundation Africa. Daddy will be smiling to see South-South collaboration planted on the soils that we stand on today. I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sibanda, for accepting the award and sharing the inspiring speech here. Now I call upon Honorable Minister for Food and Civil Supplies, Government of Tamil Nadu, Thiru R. Sakrabani அவர்களை அழைக்கிறோம்.
Vanakkam, good evening. Honorable former Chief Justice of India, former Governor of Kerala, Thiru P. Sadasivam அவர்களே, Chair, CGIR System Board, Dr. Linvi Sibanda அவர்களே, Chairperson of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, Dr. Swaminathan அவர்களே, Chairman, the Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, President, Agriculture Today Group, Dr. M.J. Khan அவர்களே, Head Economic Analysis Unit, Indian Statistical Institute, Dr. Madhura Swaminathan அவர்களே, Executive Director of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, Dr. G.N. Hariyanan அவர்களே, all dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, friends from press and media, good evening to you all. Today is the birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who is the father of Green Revolution and great personality behind India's self-sufficient status in food today. Today is also death anniversary of Muttamalaringar Dr. Kalaignar, who is the father of socio-economic development of Tamil Nadu. He also implemented special PDS in which Tudal, palm oil and black gram were distributed to the public at subsidized price. This enhanced the food security and nutrition of people of Tamil Nadu. These two legends have contributed much for India's development. I also like to share here that Government of Tamil Nadu has honored Dr. M.S. Swaminathan by naming the Agriculture College in Tanjavur after him and created fellowship in his name. On this occasion, I like to thank Bharat Ratna C. Subramaniam, fondly hailed as a CS, for his service to the Indian subcontinent and green revolution in India, reducing poverty and hunger, improving human health and nutrition, and enhancing ecosystem resilience through high quality international agriculture research partnership and leadership is the aim of International Agriculture Research Centers. As chair of this board, Dr. Linvi Sibanda has received the MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024. I am privileged and happy to have distributed the MS Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024 to Dr. Lindiva Sibanda, Chair, CJIR System Board, Switzerland, for her outstanding contribution in sustainable agriculture and external leadership in addressing food security and climate change. I congratulate her on behalf of our Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and people of Tamil Nadu, and appreciate the jury who selected her for this prestigious award. I also heard that she is a practicing farmer with extensive experience serving as a policy advisor to many African governments and global institutions. She has a lot of credentials in her name in many fields and has contributed much in her career to achieve the United Nation sustainable development goals and improve the quality of life of all. I wish her all success in her life and career. Under the able leadership of great personality like Dr. Kalaignar and expert guidance of great scientist Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, India is progressing well, irrespective of the huge population. In India and Tamil Nadu now we are moving from quantity to quality in agriculture sector. We have attained self-sufficiency in food production. And now we are concerning an organic farming which aims for quality and nutrition. Tamil Nadu is presenting a separate budget for agriculture 2021, encouraging the cultivation of the millets and organic farming. Tamil Nadu government is giving us rupees 130 and rupees 105 per quintal for fine and common variety of paddy respectively, apart from the minimum support price announced by the government of India. We are also distributing 2 kgs of rahi per family and card instead of rice in Dharmaburi and Nilagiri districts in public distribution system to enhance the consumption and production of millets. Universal public distribution system is implemented in Tamil Nadu, which provides essential commodity to all irrespective of economic status. Rupees 10,500 crore is given as subsidy by the government of Tamil Nadu for the public distribution system. Tamil Nadu government is providing interest-free agriculture crop loans to the farmers through cooperative society to increase agriculture productivity. We have planned to issue 16,500 crore rupees as crop loan to farmers through cooperatives this year. On this memorable day, I feel proud of Tamil Nadu stands first in the country poverty alleviation and in other sustainable goals under the able leaders of our Honorable Chief Minister Thiru M.K. Stalin. Let all of us, but more efforts apart from our routine activities to create healthy and wealthy world. Hereafter our aim should be create an abundant world which includes not only poverty alleviation but also creating prosperity. I thank everyone present here and organizers of this event for inviting me to this award distributing function. Nandri Vanakkam.
Thank you very much, sir, for offering that chief guest address. Now it's time to thank each and every one of you who had gathered on the dais and off the dais. I profusely thank Dr. Madhura Swaminathan, Dr. M.J. Khan, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Thiru P. Sadasivam avargal, and Dr. G.N. Hariharan, மதிப்புக்கும் மரியாதைக்கும் உரிய உணவு மற்றும் வழங்கல் துறை அமைச்சர் சக்கரபாணி அவர்கள், டாக்டர் லின்பி சிபாண்டா மற்றும் and each and every one of you who had gathered here and making your time to attend this M.S. Swaminathan Global Leadership Award 2024. Let's all rise for national anthem. On behalf of the foundation, our chairperson will honor the chief guest. chairperson honor the chief guest with a memento. Dr. Sadasivam. Yeah. Dr. Khan will receive the memento now. National Anthem. Thank you, one and all. We invite each and every one of you gathered here to join us for the dinner. Dinner will be served in the main pantry and also in the open theatre. Thank you very much. Good evening.